Alright guys, welcome to the beautiful month of October, which I like to just call Halloween month because horror is one of my favorite genres in all mediums. So whether it's going to be comics, movies, TV shows, whatever, I love horror. And so today I wanted to rank the Terrifier series. I did add in the 9 Circle of Hell short, which kind of has art in there. I think that's supposed to be art. It looks like art. It looks like, it's a clown, but not fully. But I added that in. All Hallows Eve, I'm counting the Terrifier short. We're just going to skip the Alien short because, sucks dick. And then, of course, we have Terrifier 1, Terrifier 2, and Terrifier 3. Now, I'll totally be honest, the only reason I really watched these movies to begin with was because my wife had started a YouTube channel a couple of years ago and did the reaction for Terrifier 1 right before Terrifier 2 dropped. And so I decided, well, I should watch it too. And as I was editing, I watched the movie and I was like, wow, holy moly moly choly woly. This is some fucked up shit. But let's go back to the short 9 Circle of Hell. So art in this, or the clown, I'm going to say it's art, different actor obviously, was okay. It didn't have the charm that we know of art. It didn't have actually the scariness. It just looked like a guy dressed up in a clown outfit. Now I could be wrong. This isn't art, and the fans that love this series let me know, and I could be wrong. But I just added it in because it looked so much like art in terms of like the look of the costume. But overall, this short really doesn't have much to do with art. He's in the beginning. He basically knocks out the victim of this movie, and then she's dragged into this underground thing and proceeds to get stuff done to her. I'm not going to say because YouTube will shut me down. This is the least interesting of all the films or shorts on this list because it doesn't really have art in it. It's also weird, and it's not very good. The acting isn't very good. Yeah, I would say this is pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. This was not something I'd ever really watch again, nor do I even say it's needed for the rest of the series. It's kind of cool to see a different actor as art, but not good. Yeah, we're just gonna go with not good. So I'm gonna put this in a icky, but not in a good way, because it's kind of just shit. So All Hallows Eve, I'm going to talk about the short of Terrifier, which is the ending of this movie. And it's an anthology. It's 3 parts. It's the 9 Circle of Hell, then some stupid-ass alien film, like I said, not worth watching, and then this. And I think the All Hallows Eve Terrifier has ideas that really work. I think this is a general look that art is going to go for, this kind of creepy, demonic-looking clown. And there's some scenes in this that are fucked up, including one where he has shit all over him, or he took a shit in the bathroom. There's some creepy moments of him coming out of the dirt I like, but overall, this isn't that great of a film again. There are moments I overall like, especially the stuff at the very, very end. Very creepy art look for, what he is at this point. But it's a different actor. It's not David, who eventually comes on to do Terrifier 1, 2, and 3. And you could feel that the presence is different. Now, I will say I watched this after Terrifier 1 and 2 and before 3. So that could have the overall effect of I'm already judging it based on a much better performance of art. But as it stands, it is just okay. I wouldn't say, again, it's needed. You could kind of just skip this movie. But I don't think it's awful. It's just eh. It's just eh. And that's kind of where I'm going to put it. Eh. Alright, so let's talk about Terrifier 1. So my wife reviewed this movie, or watched it, reacted, and kind of gave her synopsis. And I think she liked it a tad bit more than I did. This movie has some really cool moments. I think, the legendary chainsaw scene that most people know now, even if you don't watch these films, you kind of know that kill, is wonderful in terms of practical effects, in terms of what they were able to do with a budget that was like something like under $40,000. It looks good. It really does. It looks really good. And I think art is fucking creepy, and he's a real like Grimehouse creepy in this, like just this disgusting little shit puddle of fuck. But saying that, the actual film, it doesn't really feel like a film to me. It feels like one of these YouTube shorts that came out and kind of just glued together scenes. And while there's some scenes I like, there's this parking lot scene I really enjoyed, and I really enjoy the surprise bang. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you're like, what the fuck does that mean? That scene's pretty good. But everything else in this movie, and the chainsaw, everything else in this movie was okay. It's not that I was bored. I wasn't bored, but I was just like, wow, this is low budget. And sometimes that has an effect because the acting isn't that good outside of art, and the overall just storyline and pacing was all over the place. So yeah, for me, if you want to put on a slasher that has a few good kills, this one would definitely be worth it. I'm going to put it in a few good slashes. All right, so now we're on Terrifier 2. Now, Terrifier 2, my wife did the reaction, and I watched it right after, and I liked it quite a bit. I thought the improvement, it's always nice to see a jump of quality, whether I'm playing a game and the second game comes out as a jump of quality, reading a comic and seeing the art or the writer become better. And this, I can tell that Damien, the creator of this series, has pushed himself to have a quality product. Now, the budget was way bigger. I think the first one was like $40,000. This was $200,000, which is nothing really in comparison to a lot of Hollywood movies, but still, you can tell the movie looks better. The acting, thankfully, we have much better acting, mostly thanks to our main lead final girl here. Lauren Lavara, the main actress, plays Sienna, who is just what I love when it comes to a main horror protagonist. So what I like about protagonists in horror movies is they got the grit, but they're not overly macho or tough or independent. They just feel like a normal human that goes through huge circumstances of death, carnage, and holy shit, and they come out on top, pushing through. And that's what Sienna is in a nutshell. She has gone through hell and back in this movie and makes it out, and I just really enjoyed the character. The acting was great from her. This felt like it elevated the movie so much because of the great protagonist, which also goes hand in hand with the great villain, where David Thornton comes again as Art and kills it. We get a lot more comedic Art in this. Now, he had funny moments in Terrifier, and this he feels just a little bit of a little dickhead, like a little dickhead that you want to just punch in the face. On top of that, very scary, very vicious, very fucked up. All those elements are still here from the first movie, but amplified. And this movie has some of the greatest kills I've ever seen in horror movies. I've seen a lot of horror movies in my life. I've been watching them since I was 5. I am now 35. That's 30 years of horror, and I gotta say, that bedroom scene is fucked up. I mean, it really just I just wanted to know when it would end. I definitely have a struggle to watch someone's completely defenseless getting mutilated, and holy shit, this girl got absolutely fucking ripped apart, quite literally. And then to pour salt on the wound. Oh, I'm so clever. Thank you for watching my video. If you're still here, it really means a lot. Thank you so much. But yeah, there's deaths in here that are absolutely fucking disgusting. And I also like that this movie went bizarre at the end. More fantasy elements that I didn't expect from the first movie, which is very down-to-earth, gritty. I really actually like that, so I was really glad they had that in here. So, yeah, overall, Terrifier 2 is a great movie. Now, there are some issues I have with it, but they're pretty minor. The pacing, I think, is a little long. There are moments I could have seen cut like 5 minutes here or whatever. But overall, I did enjoy this movie. It's not something I could watch all the time, is the big problem. It's not... it's not light enough, if that makes sense. It doesn't have enough funny that make me go, oh, I can't want to see, oh, here comes the bedroom scene, oh my god. And I also think some of the characters are absolutely downright fucking dumb. Like, their reactions don't make sense at all, including the girl I'm talking about in the bedroom scene. I don't like, because Art is already fast cutting and a piece of shit. I feel like he could have easily caught her in a better way than her just standing there and screaming and waiting for him. But anyway, small little minor complaints aside, this is a bloody good time. This is a B+ for me. It's a lot of fun. It's not quite there in terms of great for me, but or amazing, but it is really good to put the franchise on the map for a lot of people. It put me on the franchise where I was like, all right, I'll watch more of whatever he's got up cooking, and I'm gonna put this in a bloody good time for sure. And now we're gonna talk about Terrifier 3 that just came out at the time of this video like 4 days ago. I went into the movie theater to see it, so this is the first one I saw in the movies. I gotta say, I really don't understand wow, I'm gonna sound like a boomer here, but I don't understand why the fuck you teenagers have your fucking phones out in a movie theater and on your phone while watching a movie. Have some fucking respect for movie experiences. Have some goddamn respect for the actors, the directors, putting a movie on screen for you, spending all this time and money. Get off your fucking phone. Nobody gives a fuck about your TikTok, your fucking Instagram, none of that shit. Get off your phone. Rant aside, this was a really fun time. The reaction from my audience was pretty much in line with my reaction to a lot of these kills. A lot of, shit, fuck, that was pretty much my reaction to the entire movie. But Terrifier 3 has a lot going for it, and it is just one of the movies that came out. I had pretty high expectations because I liked 2 a lot, and it succeeded in doing that. There are 2 flaws. I'm going to mention the flaws now because I want to talk about why I love this movie. But the actor Elliot, who played Jonathan, really felt like he didn't get enough character development, and the insinuation, I'm going to spoil it here, the insinuation that he's dead is really shitty in my opinion, to have an off-kill character. Now, as someone who loves to write and read a lot, I'm assuming this is a fake out and he returns in the next one, but still didn't like how little screen time he had. On top of that, I also felt like the pacing of the movie sometimes jumps a little too much of where we're going, and that could be a problem. That's pretty much my flaws. This movie was a fucking blast. Let's just talk about the atmosphere. So whereas Terrifier 1 felt like you're stuck in a warehouse, and Terrifier 2 had a lot more of like a Halloween, we're gonna murder you. This felt like Christmas time, bloody time. I just love the Christmas vibe in this. I really do. I just like that we get a fucking clown Art dressed up as Santa like half the movie. It's wonderful. I also really enjoyed the overall kills in this. They weren't quite as holy shit as the chainsaw scene in the first or the bedroom scene in the second, but there is 2 kills in this movie that definitely made me go Uchi Mama Holy Wawa. Let's talk about real fast, again, spoilers, the bathroom scene, which is pretty brutal. Not as brutal as I expected because I kept getting hyped that it was the most brutal scene. And yes, I do have a penis, so seeing a chainsaw rip through a penis is not my favorite on to-do list, for sure. I'm sure that's how all the girls felt too in the first movie when they watched it. But at the same time, I think because the chainsaw scene happened in the first one, this is more of a callback, but reverse gender. It was brutal, but not my favorite scene, to be honest. On top of that, though, the death that did get me is the ant. Oh shit, man! I don't like rats. I fucking hate rats. Let me tell you a story real fast about rats. I'm in fucking where I live. These rats, when they do construction, they leave the premises of the construction area, and they like to come to my house. So I've dealt with fucking rats before, and I don't like them. So watching a rat go through someone's fucking mouth into their throat is not on my to-do list. I don't like that, not one motherfucking bit. Not at all. So that death was crazy. On top of that, just the overall tone of this movie had a perfect balance of the brutal kills, but with the fucking hilarious art. David is on goddamn point in this movie. Absolutely makes him so fucking funny. There's a scene from the start of Art walking by a bar and he sees someone dressed as Santa. It is hilarious. For the next 4 minutes, I'm fucking laughing. I'm laughing hard. Well, knowing that these people are going to get viciously murdered. Some of them fast, but overall they're all going to get killed. That I know. And it's great. Sienna is still a great character. They deal and dive into her PTSD, and she's not doing well, as to be expected. These murders that this thing commits is fucked up, so it was really nice to see that she had to deal with that and also keep her gritness. And overall, I just love the fact that she never feels like she is going to be the one to be saved. She is the savior. Every fight scene, every moment where she's in trouble, she finds a way to get out of that trouble, and it's just so fucking refreshing to see that. On top of that, I really like the new characters introduced. I liked the aunt and uncle. I liked Gabby. I even liked Jonathan's roommate. Didn't like his girlfriend, the podcast lady, but that's okay because she's perfect fodder for death. But yeah, overall, very funny, very, very, very cool kills in my opinion. Not as epic as those two that I mentioned, but more consistently murdering. And that's one thing I do think the pacing, while it jumps around a little too much, you do get more consistent kills to story ratio that make the flow of it better than the second. So yeah, overall, what a fucking great time. I wanted to throw up a little bit here or there, and that's in a good way. So this is my favorite movie of the franchise. I generally think this is one of my favorite horror movies of the year, up there with Abigail. And maybe it's funny because these two movies are bloody as shit at times, but also hilarious. And maybe I just want some comedy horror this year. Maybe that's what's working for me. Anyway, there's only really officially 3 Terrifier movies, but if you count the other 2 as shorts, I would do that, and let me know what you think. Some people I've heard still think Terrifier 1's the best because of the overall feel and tone of it, which I think is fine to believe. My wife, I believe, likes 2 more than 3, and I can see that for sure. So yeah, I would love to see what you guys think. If you watch Terrifier, let me know what you think below. If you haven't watched Terrifier, why not? It's a bloody good time. Or if, you know, blood and gore is not your thing, then probably don't watch this. It's really fucked up shit. That simple. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button. If you love me, hit the subscribe. I like to do mostly comic and nerdy stuff, but every once in a while I like to throw in my horror videos because I'm a huge horror fan. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day.